can find fun stuff.
Oh, I know.
It says we're live.
It lies. All right, as always, King Harvest Coffee. Remember to mention us when you order. We like free coffee.
Yeah.
And we need to order coffee.
Yeah, I need to call them.
Yes, dear.
Coffee keeps people unstimulated.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, also, other news. Miss Cedar, who is currently in the comments somewhere, has a splash page for the North Texas Troublemakers. CedarRights.com / yeah.
NTTM.
That's a one-stop spot to go to everybody's pages, okay?
And there are a bunch of us.
And more as
And the chat's literally on the rails talking
Of
about
course.
railroads.
railroads.
Yeah.
The hell.
Durango.
I don't. All right,
Cumbres, Toltec in Colorado.
let's get your rant out of the way.
Hang on, I got to go back and find the other one they were talking about. Now that I've mentioned it. The Cass Scenic Railroad in West Virginia. Yes. Scenic railroads are interesting for nobody that's ever ridden a old railroad.
I've ridden railroads in England and Europe. I'm fine.
Yeah. Anyway, I've got two rants to start today. First, and this one really.
I had the chicken of rant.
Yeah.
Good rant.
Visa, MasterCard, and American Express
Oh,
Yeah.
are going to start categorizing sales of anything from a gun shop
With a merchant code.
with
So
a new merchant code from the International Organization of Standardization. In other words, the left is finally getting their fucking tracking of
Yeah,
people that
because-
go to gun shows.
anytime if you use a credit card at a gun store, online or in person, there'll be a special code attached to the
Purchase.
purchase, which is searchable.
Yep. Which now, and Bill's exactly right, means the banks can now track and or deny.
And as we are so fond of pointing out, or at least I am, the unintended consequences thereof is I'm not ever buying a gun with a credit card again. I will pop over to the bank, withdraw what I need for the gun. I'll pay cash for it. And
I'll pay cash for anything I get out of a gun store from now on.
Mhm.
What they're looking at doing with this is they're looking at killing internet sales, especially of ammunition.
well, that's the thing of it. That's the thing of it is I will be quite happy because you can do this. At least you can hear in Texas. I don't know anywhere else. I can get on the Daniel Defense site, contact them, have them send the gun to my local gun store, go to the local gun store, pay for it with cash, and then they can pay Daniel Defense in cash.
Yeah.
Or whatever they use.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the other thing, Ag Tiger, is now if you make a large withdrawal, a lot of the banks are asking you specifically what it's for, as
None yet.
if it's any of their business.
None of your goddamn business.
Yeah.
Mine doesn't. That's the great thing about a
Credit union.
little bitty credit union, and I am a member of a very tiny credit union, is they don't care.
Yep.
They're smarter than that.
The money is to open an account in
Yeah.
another bank. Yes.
And and people need to understand that it's quite acceptable to say none of your business, or if you ask me that question again, I'll take my business somewhere else that won't ask that question.
Oh, Sarah, shaved monkey, really?
The money's for a shaved monkey.
I used to get that question at Joanne's all the time. What are you making? My response was fetish gear. So,
The next rant, while I'm on a roll, is the new quote unquote drunk driving and impaired driving prevention technology safety standard.
I got into this 6 months ago when they passed the damn thing.
Well, I got into it. You and I both got into it when they started with this crap. Basically, what has has been introduced and has passed, or will pass apparently, in this new bill, the infrastructure bill.
Oh, it's already passed.
Yeah, it is. That's right. It has passed. Is a vehicle kill switch will be required by 2026.
Every new car is going to have a switch that somebody, not you, can push or click a mouse button, and your car goes away. Your car stops running.
Yeah.
The great thing about this, and I say great with a great deal of sarcasm, is it's a computer program, and it can be geofenced. And let's say, and it'll only use for public safety. What it's supposed to be? What it's supposed to be used for? Shut down drunk drivers who run, and this is the big thing that the blue checkists have been after, is a way to stop vehicle pursuits.
Yeah.
Okay.
Killing a car that's going 70 miles an hour in the middle of a residential area, making it stop. Physics does not stop.
Well,
That doesn't come into play with these people.
well, the thing is under public safety, let's not forget that the COVID-19, slap a fucking warning on that one, YouTube, was deemed a public safety measure.
Yeah.
And you can't tell me that the governor and Stasi in Illinois or Michigan or Rhode Island would have been, or Oregon or California would have been quite happy and would have quite piously referred to as a public safety measure to flip the kill switch on every vehicle within a geofence location to enforce the 15 days to flatten the curve.
Well,
Right.
they were geofencing phones
Mhm.
for travel purposes.
I had to have a permission slip to go to work.
And don't
So
tell
did
me,
I.
There may have been a
yeah. And if they've got a kill switch,
Mhm.
they can call the state police and have it flipped for every car inside small town Texas.
Yeah.
Don't tell me they won't do it. Don't tell me they won't do it.
Well, and the other thing is, this means that somebody's are going to have access to your vehicle.
Oh yeah.
We already know that hackers can hack a lot of the vehicles out there today.
your brake system is not secure.
Your brake system, your steering, your radio,
Mhm.
your navigation,
I'll start with those damn automatic windows.
yeah, automatic windows.
Tom, you need to pop over to Cedar's website. Take a look at the. This is for Tom Rognaby. If there's another Tom on here, take a look at the North Texas Trailmakers and look at your avatar.
Yeah. It's a good one. So what we are going to see is the tuners, that's what they're called, coming out of the woodwork again to disable capabilities like this.
Mhm.
Oh, and then that will be the next thing you know, that'll be a misdemeanor and or a felony.
Oh, it already is, because we were using them back in the ODB2 days to get around programming on vehicles. And I know some people have made a lot of money reprogramming various cars and trucks. It's just like the tuners that are basically
It'll become a subscription service, and you'll be fined if you don't keep your
Yeah.
subscription up.
That's another thing that's really pissing me off. Is
yeah, well, that's yeah, that's a
That's
whole
another
other
rant.
that's a complete show in and of itself of that rant. Yeah, Ag Tiger, we know people that can disable the DEF requirements.
So, and now people understand why when I finally sell enough books, after I get the Rigby, which will probably be the first thing I do, because bam, talk about back to my childhood. After I get the Rigby, I'm buying a rebuilt 1996 Ford Bronco that doesn't have any of that shit on it, and they can go pound sand.
Well, the interesting part is I'm waiting to see what California is going to try to do,
Oh my god.
because
What haven't they done?
oh
Lather up and shave your butt when it comes to California.
yeah,
Charge
Richard, hit
them.
full power, always on radar, and kill all the cars. Yeah. Yeah, Cedar, I'm glad you got that taken care of. 66 GTO Raptor. God's sakes, get it right.
I'm not a sports car fan. I like pickups and big SUVs. I mean, that's my,
Yeah.
because I'm here to tell you, there ain't many departments right now running what they're running that if I pop out, engage the front hubs and go wandering, are going to be able to follow me.
Yeah.
Because I know what they drive. I know really well what they drive, and it ain't going off into the mesquite thickets.
Yeah. Yeah, DW, no non-electric cars, but don't charge your electric car. Yeah.
Idiots.
Uh,
Idiots.
4-wheel drive and space to store some things. Yes.
Tom likes the Avatar. I knew he would. Isn't that fantastic?
Yeah, but the interesting part is going to be, and we use tuners to get around a lot of stuff on the first ECMs. Just with doing minor reprogramming, we were getting 35 to 40 more horsepower out of the cars. We were getting better gas mileage and amazingly quicker throttle response. Gee, funny how that works.
Actually, if I could find one of the early first 4-wheel drive Toyota Tundras, I'd take that.
Yeah.
But I briefly drove a 1996 Ford Bronco that was an issue car for an agency, and I fell in love with that thing.
Yeah,
That's
Bill, it's easy to do.
My first car was a lifted Chevy Blazer.
Yeah.
1986.
This one wasn't even lifted. It was stock. The only thing different that was not stock about this thing was the entire cargo area had been sprayed with the bed liner.
Rhino liner.
Rhino had been rhino lined, and holy gods, that was wow. It was the closest thing to a Nigerian Land Rover that I've ever been in.
Yeah. Well, now we do have something that we wanted to do.
Yes.
Now that the ranting is done for now.
Now the ranting's done. Okay. The ladies have gotten together and they have put together grab bags to go in the Fringe the Fin swag bags.
You might have to explain that people pay extra to get those.
Okay. At FinCon, if you pay a little extra to be a friend of the con, you get a bag full of goodies. And so we added to this bag full of goodies. And if you know us, that should make you a little nervous. So we thought, for your edification, we would show you what this paying extra at FinCon, some of what it gets you. Now, there's other stuff that's actually worthwhile in the bag. then there's our stuff. It comes in a limited edition bag. See, it says limited edition right there. So definitely a limited edition bag. It's got.
As in, we ain't doing this shit again.
Oh, have you talked to ladies? You might want to talk to ladies when you say that. It's got branding.
You have plans.
Front and back.
You can tell yourself what you need to, Jim.
Branded, so they know who to blame or whatever. However, the inside is a thing of beauty. So when you open this up, you get various cards of stuff that can be, most of it can be scanned to Nortex Troublemaker books, author pages, books, that sort of thing. You get one Army Man, blue in color.
Not every day.
Not everybody?
Some of them have the blue Army Men. Some of them have green. Some of them have something else.
You get a something.
Something, yeah.
Why they're blue, I don't know. Then you get
Not getting late.
Good
Oh, I
point.
said that out loud. It's been that kind of morning. Never mind.
Jana is on a roll.
Just slicing things up this morning.
you get what I happily refer to as a Marine MRE. In said Marine MRE, you get a panel from one of the coloring books, you get a crayon, and you get a packet of salt. Thus, the Marine MRE. If you can't color it, you can always eat the crayon. Then you get, I'm not going to pronounce this right because you get pour noodles. Pour noodles is a recipe from the lovely Cedar for basically ramen. It requires 1 brick o noodle, 1 egg, half cup frozen vegetation, and North Texas Troublemaker seasoning, asterisk. Rip open 1 pack of noodles. Discard overly salty packet. Whisk with a fork, not anything else, not anatomy. Whisk with a fork 1 egg in a cup or bowl until creamy, and they have dirty minds. In a saucepan, bring 4 cups of water, tap, to boil. Slowly pour beaten egg into the boiling water while stirring. Add the square of noodles, broken if you so desire. We call it inmate style.
Yep.
Add a handful of frozen vegetables. Remember, green is not poison. I beg to differ, but however, okay. Cook at a rolling boil for 3 to 4 minutes. Drain and toss the provided North Texas Troublemaker seasoning. Serve when temperature drops below scalding. Bon appetit. The North Texas Troublemaker seasoning we added is 1 military MRE issue thing of Tabasco and a random
Sauce packet.
that was collected around the shop. This one happens to be red gold ketchup. There are other ones. And one of these, I am gigglingly informed, one of these has the single solitary packet of duck sauce and a rubber duck. Because, have you met them? So, one lucky person will get duck sauce and a rubber ducky. What you do with it, between you and God.
No, Richard, we did not go with the green mini bottles. We went with the real thing.
So, we have postcards from Jim that will take you to his site for his books. We have Cedar's card, which will take you to her site. We have, the Haunted Library Anthology. Buy this, money goes to support small town library.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Becky R. Jones. Have I met Becky yet? Yes, I have.
Yes.
Yeah, she was
Okay.
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Becky R. Jones.
Yep.
And last but not least, Cedar again, Vulcan's Kittens.
Yep.
So these will be in every bag-ish. And if you pay extra, and you probably should have, you get one of these. You also get some good stuff like T-shirts.
Yeah.
That you get ours. Go forth and sin no more. Unboxed. Voila.
MRE Tabasco magazine. God. Yeah, Cedar has leftovers. Yes.
As long as it's not a gay or necrophiliac duck. Okay. Backstory there. If you know,
And the fox fell over.
poor guy, he heard gay necrophiliac duck and ran like hell.
It's smart.
He's smart. Gay necrophiliac ducks. If you have followed Jessie Gaunt on Facebook, she was lab rat of Atomic Nerds. What?
God. Chicken Alec King is not a personal lubricant.
Obviously, sir, you are not a Marine. So I'm wiping out the ladies today. Anyway, Jesse, who was lab rat on the old Atomic Nerds blog, and we broke Jesse.
I was trying to take a drink.
You know better.
She is a biologist. It's kind of a scary biologist.
Yeah.
She is a biologist. And she occasionally comes out with these deadpan true animal facts that will give you nightmares.
Yes.
She went on an extended rant about ducks. And ducks are evil.
Yeah.
Ducks are evil. I honestly thought drop bears, koalas were bad, and she informed me they were worse than I thought. But ducks and dolphins, man, what the hell?
That was on a Vicious Circle podcast a long time ago.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Ducks, every duck out there, and dolphins too, apparently, are rapists. And they're not exactly picky as to gender or willingness
Yeah.
or body temperature.
Weaponized. Better ducks than whales, trust me. Also corkscrew. Yeah.
Yes. Ducks are just. Ducks are not one of God's creations.
Yeah. They're one of those. Put that one in the trash. And it crawled out.
That one. Kelly Grayson is a duck hunting fanatic. He loves hunting ducks.
Yes.
I now wholeheartedly support his duck hunting. And I'll suggest that he do it with a flamethrower because ducks. Lovecraft didn't envision ducks. In the deepest depths of his madness, ducks were not on his radar. They should have been.
If you get Kelly talking about ducks, you might as well order in because it's going to be a while.
Ducks and duck hunting.
Yes.
I've never hunted ducks, and Kelly keeps wanting to get me to go duck hunting with him. I really should go. I just haven't gotten around to it. And
I'm not because I suck so bad with a shotgun.
I'm not great at bird hunting. I would rather whack four-legged things. Ish. I'm not that good at bird hunting, but I love banging shot at doves.
Yeah.
Notice I didn't say hunting. Banging shot at doves, and scaring the tail feathers off of pheasants. So I figure I might as well get out there when it's too cold to work your fingers and try ducks.
Yeah.
I think I scare a couple of ducks.
And I was getting way up early in crappy weather. Yes. I got invited on one of those pheasant hunts once. And that was an interesting experience because people that know me know I can't hit the right side of a barn inside the barn with a shotgun because I aim and I,
Because
press the trigger.
he's a rifle shooter, not a shotgun shooter.
Yeah. Kermit, stop it.
That's why I refer to as whacking.
Yeah.
Irony.
As opposed to anything.
No, Bill, I've shot rifles for too long. I can do tactical shotgun, but you put me on a bird hunt, trap range, I suck. So anyway, we get invited along on this pheasant hunt. And it's up in Iowa, and it's on a corporate hunt. So there is all kinds of 410 modified SMLE.
Actually, I think somebody makes those.
Yeah, probably. So we get up there, and I don't have a shotgun with me because at that point in time, I didn't have a shotgun handy. So they loaned me this shotgun, which was worth more than my car.
Shotguns get stupid expensive.
Oh, God, yes. So we get up, dark friggin' 30, and we go out, and they're going to beat the field toward us.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, bolt action 12 gauge, I can run that.
I'm not a big fan of the Mossberg bolt actions. I'll explain why after this.
Yeah, well, I've actually shot one.
I have too, and
Yeah.
I'm not a big. And there's a reason, and I'll get into that here in a bit.
Yeah. So we get out there, and we're standing down at the end of the field. And we've got about 20 feet between us and the corn, and I'm sitting there shivering. And the pheasants start getting up. People start taking shots. And I missed that one. And about that time, one jumped up about 20 feet from me and came straight at me. And I just, boom, poof.
Well done, sir.
Yeah. Holy friggin' pheasant, I hit it. And the poor dog went to pick it up and came back with a mouthful of feathers. I had apparently center punched that pheasant, literally, with the entire load of bird shot. And there was not enough left. There was literally nothing left but feathers. Yeah, I disintegrated that son of a bitch. There wasn't left for soup, Jerry.
Browning, RK mentioned the Browning Satori. Browning for SHOT Show this year came out with one of my Grail guns, which is a Browning Satori over under on a 16 gauge, on an honest to God 16 gauge action.
Yeah.
Because most 16 gauges these days are either on a 12 gauge action, which is too bloody big, or 20 gauge action, which is too damn small. There's an actual 16 gauge, and Browning decided to do a run of Satori's on a 16 gauge action, and that's one of my Grail guns. Also, not currently anywhere near my wheelhouse. Mossberg 12 gauge bolt action. Mossberg did a stupid thing way back when, and they made a line of bolt action shotguns, 12 gauge, 20 gauge, and 410. I've got a 410 bolt action with a crap hard rubber recoil pad on it.
Yeah.
And the reason I friggin' hate those Mossberg 12 gauge bolt action shotguns is because for some reason known only to various demons, a certain breed of redneck thinks it's hilarious fucking funny to stick a high brass shell in one of those goddamn no recoil pad Browning 12 gauge bolt actions, hand it to a slim teenager just starting out,
Yeah.
and thinks it's funny when they get knocked down and start bleeding.
Yeah.
And that pisses me off.
Yeah.
There was a young female officer that I was mentoring a long time ago that was great. She could run a pistol like nobody's business, but she would literally get the shakes if you handed her a long gun because her idiot father gave her a Mossberg 12 gauge bolty and high brass shells and laughed uproariously when it knocked her to the ground and caused her to bleed. And I tried for months to get past and never got past. I couldn't get her to work a long gun.
Yeah.
Because of that bullshit. And I realized I shouldn't blame Mossberg, but that's the one for some god only reason, they always use that idiot, probably because the stock didn't fit right. It was a rifle stock, and rifle stocks don't go on shotguns.
Yeah.
But there have been more kids hurt and turned off shooting and hunting because that's funny, and it's not funny.
Yeah.
It's an idiot thing to do, and it pisses me off.
I got it done to me as a 10-year-old. Of course, I actually did it to myself, but Mariner Express 10 gauge.
Yeah.
Side by side.
Yeah.
And Grandpa told me, he said, it's going to hurt, but you need to learn how to shoot it. And I loaded both barrels. And
and you pulled the front trigger, didn't you?
I pulled the front trigger and got the back trigger and went flat on my ass. And I ended up with a bruise that covered half my chest. And it was about 3 days before I could move my arm. And he just looked at me and I laid on the ground. He said, I told you not to do the front trigger first.
Now, having said that, I do have a Mossberg 410 at the house that was my mother's. It's a bolt action 410. And if somebody wants to shoot, it's got a nice thick recoil pad on it. I will take them out with low brass 410 shells, just like I do for rifles. If you come to me and you say, Law Dog, I'd like to learn how to shoot a rifle, we're going to start with a 22.
Yeah.
We're going to start with a 22.
Go blanket.
And we'll go planking.
Yeah.
And then we'll move up to a 38 and a lever action. 38 wad cutters and a lever action. And then we'll gradually move up to the thumpers. With pistols, you start with a 22.
Yeah.
And then you go to a 32 or a 38 wad cutter.
Yep. And
you ease them into it. And as they learn, as they become more comfortable, then you up the horsepower until they say that's a little much.
Yeah.
And they will. If you teach them right, if you coach them, if you mentor them right, they will tell you that's a little much.
Yeah.
With a rifle, start out with a 22. Farm Mom has this lovely Finnish Seiko, I think.
Yeah.
A bolt action 223 with a nice thick recoil pad. Stock is beautifully made. A 223 bolt action is once you get out of the rimfire and out of the 38 lever action and you're into ball neck rifle cartridges, start with that and then gently move up. And there are a lot of people out there. Joe Spear and I have this theory we call the polite gun. And our theory is most people, for 99% of the folks out there, they need a polite gun. A polite gun being a 30-30 or 7mm 08, something with enough horsepower to take down a whitetail, but not kick you all over hell's half acre.
Yeah, like a 30-06.
If the 30-06 is the upper end. There are some folks that Jim, his polite gun's a 30-06. Mine's a 30-30 or a 7mm 08. Nice, polite, gets the horsepower to do it. Doesn't, slap you down, kick it. It's not a BDSM gun.
Yeah.
Something about today's theme.
Yeah. Yeah, Bill, that's another good one. Teach them to bloody push-pull from the start. And use bird shot.
That's the thing of it is when I first started shotguns, push-pull wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
That's the hots, to best of my knowledge, and Bill could probably correct me on this, the hots are the one that came up push-pull. When I was in shotguns, when I was doing shotguns, it was pull that thing into your shoulder as hard as you can.
And lean into it.
And lean into it.
Yeah.
And just soak it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You talk about training kids. My buddy in D.C. that was the other deputy with me, his daughter was 12 years old. We took him out to the range. And she wanted to shoot. She'd never shot a gun. So I had my 22s with me, and I let her shoot the 22 pistol. And she was happy. Love it. Went over to the rifle range because we needed to sight in for deer hunting. And I had brought my little 22s. At that time, I had a bolt action 22 CZ, which accurate little rifle.
Hmm.
So started her on that, and she got tired of working the bolt. She said, "You got anything else?" Yeah, here's an AR, and it was 223.
Hmm.
And she burned through about 200 rounds. And I'm sitting there looking at her dad going, the ammo here. And she goes, "Well, what else have you got?" And I had that old Model 39 lever gun in 22.
Yeah.
She went through 400 rounds in a lever gun. Just bing, ding.
Yeah. Rita's got a BL-22,
Yeah.
Browning's little short throw lever action 22. And that little thing, when she gets on that 22 and starts giggling,
Yeah.
she'll burn through our ammo budget. And it's great. I started at 7mm 08's mine because I started on 7x57, which is still my classic. 7x57 is a good round.
Yeah.
It is a hunting round. But in the U.S., for some reason, I don't know, damn colonials, are not fond of 7x57. Well, Gunsmith Joe said, "Here's 708. It's the same thing. Shut up."
Yeah.
And he was right. So 708 is an Americanized 7x57 because you damn colonials don't know a good thing when you see it.
Yeah, we would go through. When I was shooting a lot, I was shooting 1,000 rounds a week, and that was 22, 9, 45. Shotgun was probably another 200, 250 rounds of bird shot. The occasional slug or double-aught buck.
Rise colonial, sir. There's no evidence we are damned. Have you seen your government recently?
Yeah. Talk about shotguns. I do have a Satori. I think other people have shot it more than I have. And I've had a few people drooling over that. It's an over-under.
That's nice. Satori's Brownings. I do love a sweet over-under. Is just a thing of beauty.
Yeah.
No,
I'm not into 6.5s.
ain't nothing wrong with 6.5s.
I know that, but they burn out barrels.
6.5 Swede doesn't. The 6.5 Grendel and the 6.5 Creedmoor, Grendel more than Creedmoor are probably barrel burners. 6.5 Creed's perfectly common little round.
Yeah. You know how much ammo I've got.
Oh yeah, you don't have room for any extra ammo.
I've tried. I got got rid of calibers.
This man, I swear to God, actually has a quarter shipping container stacked front to back, floor to ceiling with ammo.
I never got out of the habit of buying when I could.
It's a good thing these days.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But you talk about
Didn't have it.
6.5 Swede. My buddy had a 6.5 Swede. Didn't have any ammo. Came from his dad.
Okay.
So, he's complaining and moaning about the cost of trying to get spent brass to fire for him and everything else.
Oh, Tom.
Both the daughters are already married.
No, he's offering a daughter to you as long as he gets to inherit the ammo.
Young man. Read.
Oh.
Not my style. So we went out to the Dulles Gun Show. This was when it first started. And I was joking with him, and I said, I'll bet we can find some 6.5 Swede here.
Well, yeah.
And he goes, you're on. I'll buy lunch if you can find some.
6.5 Swede. The 6.5 by 55 Swede is an old military round.
I not only found a case of 6.5 Swede, I found 3 boxes of 6.5 Swede with wooden bullets.
Training rounds.
Training rounds. And I made that son of a bitch buy lunch.
The 6.5 by 55 Swede is pretty much a 30-06 of Europe.
Yeah.
So it's not a surprise that.
But most gun stores, and this was in the late 90s, didn't carry 6.5 Swede.
Because damn colonials.
Yeah.
30-06, 6.5 Swede, 7x57, 308 in the proper rifle.
Yeah.
And all of these predicate the proper rifle. I got to shoot one of the first of Stayer's scout guns. Colonel Jeff Cooper had a concept for a scout gun.
Yeah.
It was 308, a light 308. And
6.5 pound 308 with a
6.5 pound total with scope and everything. And that thing was not comfortable to shoot. And 308's not a Haas round. It's just not comfortable to shoot. In a 6 pound rifle, it's not comfortable to shoot. If you get a 7.5 pound wood stock or polymer, doesn't matter. 7.5 pound rifle, stick a good scope on it in a mid-size, 30-06, 308, 7 millimeter. None of the magnums, just a nice.
Yeah.
That will take care of everything you need it to take care of. You don't need the 416 Loudon Boomin T-Rex destroyer.
Or that 418 Rigby that.
Jesus.
What if you really want one?
That's yes, but you need to have. Okay, if you want the 577 T-Rex, jump on it.
Yeah.
If you really want that, but have something you're actually going to shoot with.
Yeah.
30-30 lever action, a 7mm 08, something you're actually going to shoot with.
Yeah, it shoots through schools. Swedish Bikini Team Vampire Hunters. Yeah.
I'd watch that.
Yeah. 243 is a good round.
243 is an excellent round. 244 is better.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lay that one out there.
Go watch Foamy the Squirrels, but on Paranormal Romance. Jesse.
Don't quote me on this.
Foamy the Squirrel's hysterical.
Foamy the Squirrel is great. He takes some getting used to, depending on which rank you start first.
A little bit.
Yeah. The 7x57 spawned 2 American, and you may have to quote me on this, 2 American calibers. 7x57 is also a 275 Rigby.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the reason I'm so fond of it. What's the name? Necked it down to. Shit! I just had a brain cramp.
I know which one you're talking about, and I can't think of what it is either. Anyway, it got necked down. 257 Roberts.
Yeah. 257 Roberts.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you. Woo! Squirrels. Ving. Neck down 257 Roberts, lovely little quarter bore cartridge, and then Remington. I think you may have to research this. Necked it down even further to 244. Also called a 6mm Remington, which is a fantastic speed goat cartridge, very flat shooting speed goat cartridge, and I have fondness for the 257 244 because they're based off God's own cartridge, the 275 Rigby.
Only because you grew up in Africa. Good American calibers, on the other hand.
30-06.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with 30-06.
I mean, one of the 30-06s I've got's a 1940 Model 70.
Yeah, because damn.
It's a 4-digit serial number.
Yeah, damn. That's a nice rifle.
Got that when my uncle passed away. I was in the will for that because the one we had down at the old home place got burnt up in the fire when the old home place burned. But it's an original pink Packbuyer recoil pad on it.
Hmm?
Still have the original steel butt plate.
Oh,
Ain't putting that thing back on it.
oh. The Tuvula Speed Goat is also Rocket Goat.
Pronghorn.
Yeah, pronghorn. The American pronghorn is called the Rocket Goat or Speed Goat. Because, woo!
Yeah.
And they're stupid. But man, they're quick. And
Well, and the problem is you can't sneak up on the little bastards.
no, because they got binoculars for eyes.
Yeah. If you get within 300 yards of one of those sumbitches on a stalk, you better be taking the shot because you're not getting any closer.
And they have ESP. They really do. They are psychic. Because if you have a hunting license in your wallet for pronghorn, everything within 500 meters, all you see is blur.
Yeah.
Gone. If you don't have a hunting license for in your wallet, they will walk up to you and go, duh.
Yeah.
They'll be drooling on your shoulder if you don't have a hunting license. You go out buy one, the things disappear.
Yeah. There was the second year we went out to our get together in Colorado. Hotel I was staying at, father and daughter. Daughter was like 12 years old. Come dragging back in, and daddy's dragging daughter's just bounce. And I looked over and I went, in the back of the truck, there's a pronghorn. Who got it?
She did.
She did. First shot, first stalk, first ever hunt.
That's good. That's a good hunt.
Yeah.
That's a good hunt.
No,
Daddy
she was
is
dancing.
dragging butt, and she's just dink. I said, "So you're going to share?" She's like, "Hell no."
That is a hell of a good hunt.
Yeah.
for a young person. When we take newbies out to hunt, we bend over backwards to make sure that they actually get something.
Yeah.
We will give up the good spots, because I don't mind getting frustrated. To me, just going out,
Yeah.
is and watching the dawn and is great. But for people starting out, they need a good, they need to get something.
Yeah.
So we always try to make sure that newbies get something. The last pronghorn I had, I was up in the Panhandle, and I had the haunch. I think I had a leg left over, and there was this little old. Well, she wasn't little. She wasn't that old. There was a Hispanic, a Tejano, which is not Latin, a Tejano mama that took a shine and asked, did I want any, what would I like out of her kitchen? And I asked if she had a recipe for pronghorn because I had this leg. Pronghorn disappeared. Snatch. And then 3 days later, she brought me a cooler full of tamales. And I had just gotten to the Panhandle. I didn't know about tamales. And I was a little annoyed because she turned what would have been a lovely pronghorn roast into tamales. Seriously? And then I had one fresh out of the foil. And I swear to God, if I can find her again, the next pronghorn I'm getting, she's getting the entire goat because pronghorn tamales.
Yeah, Kermit, remember where those deer are.
Oh my God, that was my first drug deal tamale. Was pronghorn. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And
she double stuffed the tamales, so it was really good.
Yeah. Yeah, pronghorn are interesting though. They are curious.
Oh God, yes.
And one of the tricks, which I've never used successfully, is to put a stick out there with a white handkerchief on it.
Mm-hmm.
And the pronghorn will see it, realize it's not man-sized, and come look. Except I never get one of them some bitches to do that with. I'm out there.
There's a reference to some colloquialism called a stalking horse. When somebody's a stalking horse, they're a distraction. And folks don't. It's probably not used much outside of the West. But a stalking horse is you turn your horse loose when you're on a pronghorn hunt. You turn your horse loose, and then you clip about 90 degrees clockwise from where you want the antelope to be. And as the horse wanders around, usually they don't wander too far from where the reins touch the ground. The pronghorn will see the horse and go, and they'll watch that horse while you're sneaking up on their offside. And that's the origin of the term stalking horse for a decoy.
Yeah. Yeah. Jesse, hunting with a French military flag is against convention. If white flag, same difference. Stay downwind of the horse. Yes.
Well, if you're clipping around 90 degrees, if you got the horse at 6 o'clock and you clip up to 3 and the pronghorn herd's in the middle, downwind of you shouldn't be anything. So you're not much to worry about.
Unless the damn pronghorns decide to come this way,
well,
as you're going this way, and you top a ridge line and they go woof,
poof. They will. All you'll see is assholes and elbows, pronghorn style. Jesse Gaunt, lab rat, gets off on a rant about pronghorns because there's no reason for them to be that fast. There are no predators in North America
that can catch them.
That there's no reason for them to be able that damn fast. So she says, along here sometime, they're going to find a North American cheetah because that's the only reason that pronghorns should have evolved to be that quick is a cheetah analog in North America. Yeah. And we just haven't found the bones yet.
And Richard brings up a good point. And watch what you're crawling over.
Well, that goes
you've
without
got to crawl over something and it moves underneath you.
That goes without saying.
You tend to levitate about 6 feet in the air. And there might be gunfire.
Multiple gunfire.
Yeah.
Mountain lions can, but it's a very, very they're stalk and pounce. Yeah. They're not run them down. And whatever pronghorns evolved with in the predator slot was basically a cheetah analog, a sprint predator, a short to mid range sprint predator. And when they find the bones of that thing, Jesse's gonna laugh for days. She'll giggle for days.
Yeah. Kermit, I'm not sure that they've ever found a North American cheetah.
I haven't heard Jesse giggling yet, so I don't know. They might have. But there's a cheetah analog out there just based on how pronghorn evolved. There's a cheetah analog out there somewhere.
Yeah. Cedar brings up a good point. There were horse analogs in North America that were extinct. Mm-hmm. When the Spanish brought them back, the Native Americans said the grass remembers them.
I don't know if they were horse analogs or actual horses.
It depends.
Well, it's Cedar would.
Yeah.
Cedar would know. So
yeah, it depends on what you consider an analog and what you consider a horse.
Okay. So Eohippus was pre-horse. Pre-horse.
Yeah, you can.
That's like A&M, bless their Aggie hearts, looked at some bright spark, probably in a bathrobe and fuzzy bunny slippers, with a PhD at A&M, looked at Mesquite and said, well, there was a camel analog in Texas somewhere. Everybody went, what the hell? And they ran an experiment up here
Yeah.
for a long time. They brought in camels. Funny story there.
Hmm.
They brought in camels and turned loose a mesquite thicket. And within 2 years, the mesquite were growing like they weren't growing as bushes anymore. They're growing as actual trees.
Yep.
Because the camels were stripping off the thorny shoots, leaving a main, and they actually turned into an actual forest.
Yep.
And the hypothesis was because camels eat thorns.
Yep.
Trust me, I don't know how, but I swear to God, camels eat broken glass and be perfectly okay. They eat thorny plants. And the hypothesis was that there were camels, and mesquite evolved to survive camel depredation. And then somebody said, hey, there actually were camels in the Southwest.
Yeah. Yep, pre-Civil War. Yeah, they were brought over back in the 1840s.
And turned loose.
Yeah. They were originally going to be the Army Camel Corps. And that didn't work out so well.
Because camels.
Yeah.
Which are evil.
And if anybody's been to Hawaii, been to the Halekoa down at Waikiki, the military resort hotel, the trees out back are in fact mesquite trees.
I don't know why. God, that's stupid.
They are about 80 feet tall. And yes, there are issues. Talking to the groundskeeper one morning, they call it kiavi. I'm talking to the groundskeeper one morning, and he's grumbling as he's sweeping up all the beans.
Mm-hmm.
I said, yeah, have much problem with shoots coming off that? All the goddamn time.
Well, that and they're water vampires.
Yeah.
If you, mesquite in North Texas is an invasive species, believe it or not. Mesquite are traditionally, their home range is way south. And as you get through North Texas up in the Panhandle, everywhere you see a mesquite tree, some cow had a dump.
Yeah.
Because the beans pass through the cow, and that's how mesquite, one of the ways mesquite travels. And they are an invasive species up here. And I'm here to tell you that a couple mesquite and some salt cedar that some dumbass brought because it looked pretty and turned loose in North Texas.
You wanted it for a windbreak.
Yeah, it looked pretty.
Yeah.
Turn it loose. They will drain your water table with a quickness.
Kudzu can't even kill mesquite.
No, but it's when it comes to invasive species, kudzu's right up there with mesquite.
Yeah.
Because
I've seen kudzu eat an entire forest down in South Carolina.
Oh, I swear to God, we drove out to LibertyCon. We were laughing about the kudzu. We were actually describing the kudzu ecology in our own squirrely way.
Yeah.
And we're telling stories about the young kudzu on its first hunt.
Yeah.
And then on the way back, I swear they'd gone 5 feet further.
Yeah.
Anyway, A&M again, bless their Aggie hearts, took a county somewhere in Central Texas, and they cleared out every bit of mesquite and every bit of salt cedar they could.
Yeah.
I mean, they went, they genocided every bit of mesquite salt cedar they could. And within 6 months, the springs, which have been dry for years, for decades, were flowing again.
Yeah.
Because mesquite and salt cedar are such water vampires, they will kill your water table.
Yeah. Alma, we went to Palo Duro Canyon, which is up south of Canyon, Texas, just a little bit south of Amarillo. And she was pointing out to us that back in the last century, well, in the 1880s, when Goodnight settled up there, water was coming out of the canyon 2/3 of the way up it.
Yep.
Sides of the canyon.
Pouring out of the canyon wall.
Now there's a little bit of water.
There's one spring left, I think.
In one spring that's not year round in the bottom of the canyon, and that's it. Yeah, east of Canyon, southeast of Amarillo. Yeah.
Yeah, back when Goodnight, there were springs, multiple scores, if not hundreds of springs coming out of Palo Duro Canyon walls. Well,
That's why the Indians love to camp there in the winter.
also, it's a 400-foot windbreak.
That helps,
Yeah.
especially up there. It just goes back into hell to recruit.
No
Yeah,
kidding.
that's about like bamboo. My aunt's husband made the mistake of planting some bamboo when he came back from World War II.
And it took off.
And when they sold the house, when my aunt and uncle both died, when they sold the house, they were still trying to eradicate what had been 4 shoots of bamboo that was now 4 feet wide and 30 feet long down the property line.
The Pano was the first place I ever experienced digging for firewood.
Yeah.
Up there, I was day shifting, and they started a fire, and look around, going, "How the hell are we going to start a fire so that we could cook?" And where they bulldoze or cut off mesquite,
Yeah.
that knot and the root,
Yeah.
you could dig up that knot and the root. You can get 3 feet of root and be that damn big around.
Yeah.
And we cooked some pretty good steaks over firewood that we dug up.
Well, if you've ever been out around Pecos, the oak tree forest out there, they've got one of them that was petrified that they actually dug up.
Mhm.
And they're oaks, but they're 3 feet tall
Yeah, well,
with a 97-foot taproot.
West Texas.
Literally taproot
Oh, yeah.
a foot across for this little bitty 3-foot high bush.
Hmm.
But again, you can dig for firewood. It's there. We're about out of time, so we've got one thing we want to talk about. There will not be a show on Thursday.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
No show on Thursday.
Since multiples of us are out of pocket.
Just a bit.
No, Ag, I still don't have a friggin' dishwasher either.
However,
Working on that.
we will have a podcast live from FinCon.
Yeah.
Friday, 5:30-ish in the evening.
Yeah.
Give or take.
From the bar.
From the bar.
So about half of the people that are on the chat will probably be wandering through the back of the screen as we do this.
And we will snatch people.
Yeah.
Congratulations. You're on Live with the Blanket Fort.
Yeah.
It'll be the bar in the Sheraton.
The
Yeah.
bar in the Sheraton.
Because you have panels you have to run back and forth to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
the bar in the Sheraton.
I'm going to be sprinting back and forth to panels and so is Jim
Yeah.
this year. I got 4 of them. Damn.
Yeah.
So 5:30
Friday.
Friday, 5:30 evening.
Look for the boys.
It'll be on this account.
It'll be on this account. Yeah. Live from the Blanket Fort at FinCon.
Yep.
And
I have a reading just before it, so if anybody feels like wandering by and keeping me company.
we have just before it, we have guns.
Yeah.
Advances in gun technology is our panel. It's mine and Jim's panel just before.
Mhm.
And then I've got a henchman, minions panel just before that.
The gun panel includes Larry, Alex Wakel, the 2 of us, Todd,
Duck.
and somebody else. I can't remember who the other one was. Anyway, it should be an interesting panel.
Yeah.
Yes, 17:30 Central Time, 5:30 Central Time. Ish. Yeah.
We think they might be recording the gun panel.
We don't know.
Don't know. We hope. So if they do, we'll put the video up on the North Texas Troublemaker panel.
Yeah.
Or panel. Shit.
Page.
And
Useful and useless minions. Yes, I'm sure they will be discussed. Richard.
minions in fiction. What is their motivation?
Yeah.
And they've turned me loose on it. So any panels that we're on at FinCon that they do record, if we can get our sticky little paws on those recordings.
I know a
We-
guy.
Apparently Jonna knows a guy. Between Jonna and Jim, I swear to God.
Don't start with me.
I'm not starting. You started it back in when you
Hush.
told Noah that he might want to move the rudder. So any
I swear to God, I'm
Our
gonna,
friends
I'm gonna kill Ross one of these days.
so any videos that anybody at the North Texas Trailmakers is on, we will try to get up on the North Texas Trailmaker page if
Yeah.
we can get our sticky little paws on them. Who's that guy on the balcony at Jim?
Ag, we will try that. That's why we set up the YouTube North Texas Troublemakers
YouTube channel.
page and channel.
So if y'all aren't subscribed to the North Texas Troublemaker YouTube channel, you might want to consider doing that.
Yeah.
Coming up.
We're going to start putting a lot more on it.
We're gonna be starting to put a lot of content on there.
Mhm.
We are gently
We're trying to get organized.
getting organized,
No
Mhm.
judgment
Which-
with this at all.
No.
which us and organization,
Have a good day, Bill, DW.
because cats running amok look at us and go, damn, y'all are disorganized. Poor Foxy.
All right, folks, we've wasted another hour of your time today.
Y'all be
Um,
safe.
Thanks very much for involves brick bats. Yeah. Thanks for sticking with us. Yeah, you just got to put something up, Brian. We'll talk this weekend. Y'all have a good one.
There will be much talking.
And remember, don't sweat the petty stuff. Don't pet the sweaty stuff.
Some
We'll
of the
see you
talking
later.
I might actually remember.
Bye.